Hey guys, EDDBUD here, and today I'm discussing running shoe resellers. Something troubling is afoot, guys, and no pun intended. We've all seen the wild prices that people try and sell sneakers for in the resale market. Any rare sneakers, newly released stuff, people put a massive premium on it and try and resell them back to the public. You got loads of sites, StockX, eBay, Goat, but I've noticed that this is starting to happen for running shoes now too. The recent Nike Vaporfly Next Percent 2 drop saw some lucky members manage to pick up some pairs. They were given the chance to snap at one of those prototypes, the white, black and orange. I guess there's a tiny bit of orange on there, and they even got to pick them up for a slightly lower price as well, around about 210 Earth credits, pounds. But soon after that drop had finished, pairs started to appear over on StockX. Multiple sizes at some quite huge markups. Now, I've got to state very clearly, I'm not saying that this is right, this is wrong, I'm just discussing it, okay? It's not something I personally do myself, but it's something that is starting to become an issue. So as of making this video, for a US size 12, if you want a pair of the Nike Zoom Vaporfly Next Percent 2, you've got to pay about £499. Or at least that's what they're asking for. So I believe that's about $690. That's obviously without the StockX charges as well, so quite a considerable markup there. You want a UK size 9? The sellers want £679 for a pair, so that's $939. Of course, a buyer's got to meet that price. Someone's got to be crazy enough to want to spend that much on a shoe that retailed at £209. So looking at the last sale that was recorded for those shoes, you're looking at about £369 or $500. I think that was a US 8.5, so a massive 150 plus on top of the actual retail price. 73%, so I guess you could call them the next 73%. Is it really worth it for a new upper? I think the weight's probably about the same. I'm not entirely sure that it's worth it. It really isn't. I think you probably get more value buying some sort of daily shoe and enjoying that over the course of several months. I mean, there's loads of pairs of Next Percents up there at pretty much retail prices. So what are people doing? Are they buying them and then hoping to sell them on for, you know, an extortionate fee? Are they hoping to make a nice sizable profit on those shoes? Did they pick them up thinking, yeah, you know, these have been rare for a long time. If I grab a few pairs, stick them on StockX, I can make a few weeks' wages. Well, that clearly isn't the case right now, because most of the time the Next Percents and the Alphaflys are selling round about retail. So little point there. You may as well just leave them on the Nike website and let people buy them that want to get them. I'm not just going to discuss Nike though today. There's other makes too. This shoe is starting to cause a bit of a problem. People want it, but it's nowhere. There are some pairs of the Cloud White and Signal Coral version of the Adizero Adios Pro up on StockX right now. For a US size 10, you can meet the asking price of £966 if you want to. I mean, that's just insane. I think I paid $160 for this shoe. There's a US 9.5, or which is basically a UK 8.5 for £912. You know, these are prices that people think are reasonable to ask for the shoe. It ain't worth it. That aside, the highest sale for a pair of these up on StockX at the moment is they're still £140 over the retail price. 180% of the retail. That's just madness, isn't it? It's madness. Do people really want this shoe that much? Come on guys, it's a shoe. We love running shoes. People love testing them out. They bring us a lot of joy, but is it worth that much? As I said, people are selling brand new pairs of Alphaflys on there for the retail price. And don't forget, they're going to lose a little bit on that as well from the commission that StockX charge. Let's not forget, shoes need to be unworn. They've got to be brand new, 100% authentic. Is there any real point to denying somebody a purchase via the Nike website for a shoe that they really want at retail? You know, are people actually buying them with no intention of actually wearing them at all? I don't follow the logic of it. On StockX, the sales of the Adizero Adios Pro are few and far between. But what of those Next Percent sales? I mean, do you agree with picking up a shoe if you've got the possibility of doing it, only to charge more for it on the resale market. Let's not forget, economic times are pretty tough. Lots of people have lost their jobs due to the ongoing world issues. I mean, I guess if you've got the money, is it worth doing? Maybe. But as we saw with the initial Next Percent release, Nike do like to starve the market. Although I think it's backfiring on them a little bit now. Starving the market creates that hype. People want the thing they can't have. But it's easy to buy a pair of Next Percents now. There's 3 or 4 different colorways on the Nike website. At the moment, if I wanted to, I could go and buy another pair. I don't need them. These are still relatively fresh. Not as daisies, but there's some miles left in these. Easy. Were they perhaps trying to drive up hype and demand for the shoes just like they do with the Jordan brand? I'm not really sure that works with running shoes that well. I think Adidas are doing a similar thing right now with the recent draw for that new colorway of the Adizero Adios Pro. I think they did that with the first version of the shoe as well. I mean, this was really easy to pick up, as long as you were in there within about an hour. Very few people seem to have been successful in winning on that Adidas draw. I've seen very few pairs of those orange Adizero Adios Pros around. I think only a few hardened enthusiasts are willing to pay the huge reseller fees on StockX or GOAT or eBay to try and pick up a pair. I did notice though there are a few exceptions to that rule. Earlier this year, for example, someone did actually pay £306 for a sail black version of the Next Percent on StockX. So it equates to about $423. Would you do that? Think about it. I'm not sure I would. I guess if you're some sort of collector or something, but these things are tools. You know me, I don't leave them in the glass case. I'm not some weird midsole Nigel Tufnell. They're tools, aren't they, to be used? Even the Gakuso 4%'s here. Oh, I've beaten them up. They're beautiful looking shoes, but they're a tool. You don't want to wear these to wander around town, would you? I do see this becoming more and more of a problem though. There's been some news recently about Nike surrounding reseller stuff. I'm not going to get into that, but I do see Nike and Adidas hyping up these releases. Even down to the Invincible run, for example. A full Zoom X shoe, and they hyped it up a massive amount. And ultimately, I've tested the shoe out. It's alright, but it's nothing to write home about. They're cranking up the hype machine on those high stack marathon slippers now to 11, just one louder. It generates desire and it increases the mystique on all of those shoes. And effectively, they're just shoes. I don't think that Nike and Adidas can really treat running shoes in the same way as like a Jordan 1 release. I just don't see it. I mean, if we flip things over to eBay, for example, there are some pairs of the Next Percent 2 prototypes for £400. $553, that is. I mean, double the price. It's even going to make Kev Burton think twice. And me. I'm not doing that. Again, is it worth it? I mean, it's down to value, isn't it? One man's junk is another man's yard. I've seen people spend extortionate amounts of money on music equipment. Guitars, vintage amplifiers and stuff like that. I guess it's down to value, isn't it? Do you value some foam, rubber and some plastic enough to want to spend that much on it? I always try and cut a few pounds off with some sort of discount or something. I think it's important. I like to review stuff, I like to present my honest views on the shoes, but there's a line. I think, running 50 plus miles a week, eating better, getting more sleep, and wait until these shoes come out at retail is probably a better idea. Plus, you're going to save yourself hundreds, aren't you? Think what you can do with that. Actually, there's not an awful lot you can do with that right now in the UK. You can think about it when you go for a walk. Or you can watch reruns of Only Fools and Horses, Father Brown, your favourite films over and over again. Think about what you're going to have for tea. You get the picture though. You could save yourself some money. And you could just run some more miles in a week and that might make you a little bit faster. What do you guys make of these reselling scallywags? Is it cheeky, but acceptable? Is it shipshape and Bristol fashion? Or a poor show and just simply not cricket? Let me know what you think of running shoe reselling down in the comments. Again, I want to let you know that I don't think people are bad people who are reselling running shoes. I just simply like exploring the options, the opinions. I like discussing things. It's healthy and it's good to talk. Musical interlude time. Today's musical interlude is around the 2003 album from Kings of Leon entitled Youth and Young Manhood. Right from the guitar riff on Red Morning Light, you know you're in for a treat with this one. I do own a double 10-inch pressing of this on vinyl and it sounds amazing. I actually made a CD to play in the car of this album from the vinyl and it's beautiful. Immediate, very close production. It feels like the band are just sort of playing there in your living room. Minimal overdubs here, and it's all about the groove, it's all about the guitar sounds. They just crafted them so beautifully. It's jagged, yet it's got this wonderful simplicity. It makes you wonder how that band have metamorphosized into the Kings of Leon that release stuff today. It just seems like a totally different group and not really too interested in their current stuff. Don't want to sound like some sort of hipster there, but the first couple albums are way better. They just sound more raw and interesting. There's just something there. It just all sounds a little bit like U2 now. I just don't like the idea of there being a guy backstage pressing a button, making sure that the Edge's guitar delay is perfectly in time. I've really got problems with that. The drums sound like they're on a trampoline, like bouncing up and down on springs on Wasted Time. And California Waiting sounds like a better Strokes track. And it's got cowbell in it. I mean, you can't lose, can you? And Spiral Staircase sounds like some sort of wild country hoedown. What an album. There's a sinister vibe as well about Holy Roller Novocaine. Maybe it's the vocal delivery, or is it the constantly changing dynamics of the track? Just really enjoy that one. Go and check this one out from the Kings of Leon, back when they were good. In 2003, it's called Youth and Young Manhood. Okay cats, thanks for tuning in, I really do appreciate it. We're on the way now, rolling towards 17,000 subscribers. Well, we're a bit off that, but we'll soon be there. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all your support. Thanks for all your views, and thanks for subscribing if you have done recently. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications of when I launch those new videos. And it really helps the channel if you give this video a thumbs up like and share this video with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you